We're going to be starting Unit 4. Unit 4 is all about measurement and geometry. Now, measurement and geometry we're going to be dealing with slightly separately. We're going to start with geometry, and geometry is going to be working with a lot of angles. So triangles, pentagons, hexagons, all the different kind of polygons, but we're all going to be working in 2 dimensions. Measurement, on the other hand, is going to be mainly in 3 dimensions. Area, perimeter, volume, and surface area. So starting with angles, we're going to start with triangles. Triangles always have 3 sides and can come in a variety of different configurations, both right angle triangles and non-right angle triangles, and we're going to work with all of them. So let's take a moment to look at some of our vocabulary. So an interior angle, that first vocabulary item there, an interior angle is an angle inside. So let me show you on our triangle here, an interior angle like that. That is an interior angle. Notice it's inside the shape. So an So an exterior angle is outside of the shape. That should make sense, an exterior angle. And one of the big concepts we're going to be working with is the idea of adding up all the interior angles and adding up all the exterior angles. And are there any special properties that shapes have when you look at what's called the sum of interior angles and the sum of exterior angles? Now, some important notation, okay, for the sum of interior angles, it looks like that, sum of angle interior, okay? This little symbol means sum. That symbol is angle. So there's no surprises that the notation for the sum of exterior angles is the sum of angle x. That means you add up all the exterior angles. So just to let you know, that symbology will show up a lot in this unit. So let's start by looking at angles on a straight line. Anytime you have a straight line and you divide it into any angle like that, if the straight line is 180 degrees, then this is angle A and this is angle B, then A plus B, angle A plus, let me rewrite that. Angle A plus angle B have to equal 180 degrees. That relationship is called supplementary. They are supplementary angles when they add to 180 degrees. Inside triangles, let's take a quick look here. So inside the triangles, we have angle A plus angle B plus angle C. That's the sum of interior triangles. Is going to be 60 degrees plus 50 degrees plus 70 degrees. And what is that going to add up to? That's going to add up to 180 degrees. Interesting. It's a rule that the interior angle of triangles always adds up to 180 degrees. So we can use that property in a couple of different ways, but we're going to use that right now to look at this example over here, where we have the sum of interior angles equals 180 degrees. We learned that there, so we're going to use that again. And so what we have here is 70 degrees plus 50 degrees plus angle A has to equal 180 degrees. Can we find what angle A is? Yes, we can use some very simple algebra to do that. So 70 plus 50 is 120 degrees plus angle A equals 180 degrees. So angle A has to equal 180 degrees minus 120 degrees. So angle A is 60 degrees. So now we've used the property we've discovered by finding that the interior angles of triangles equals 180 degrees. We've used that to find an unknown angle. As long as we know two angles, we can do that. So the next thing is, what about the angles outside of triangles? What are the exterior angles? So let's work through this from first principles. If we look here, what relationship is that? Those two angles are beside each other on a straight line, so they are supplementary angles. So that means angle A plus 61 has to equal 180 degrees. So we can find the exterior angle A, and we can find the exterior angle C. How do we find the exterior angle B? Well, first, let's figure out the interior angle that we're missing. So we know the sum of interior angles is 180 degrees because it's a triangle. They're always 180 degrees. So we're going to find that 61 degrees plus 65 degrees plus the angle of B is going to be 180 degrees. 61 plus 65, 126 degrees equals, what am I doing? 126 degrees plus the angle B equals 180 degrees. And now we just need to do 180 degrees minus 126. I'm just going to make sure I don't give you the wrong number. Okay. So angle B is 180 degrees minus 126. It's a very strange degree sign. Okay, 126 degrees. Angle B is 54 degrees. So I'm going to write that in there, 54 degrees. Now, let's find the sum of exterior angles. So, I need to find angle A is 180 degrees minus 61, which means that angle A is 119 degrees, and let's look at angle C plus 65 degrees is 180 degrees, because we know that that's also supplementary. So angle C equals 180 minus 65, and angle C is 105. And the only other one we don't know is angle B, so I'll bring this over here. So angle B plus 54 that we already found is 180 degrees. Angle B is 180 minus 54. Angle B is going to be 126 degrees. So now we can solve for the exterior angle, and that's going to be 119 plus 126 plus 105, which is going to be 360 degrees. And if we tried that on a whole bunch of triangles, we'd find that that stays true for all the triangles. They're always going to be 360 degrees. So I'm going to highlight that for you. Okay. Actually, I'm going to write that in red. So the sum of exterior angles of triangles is always 360 degrees. And if we go back up here, okay, and we find this information, say the sum of interior angles of triangles is always 180 degrees. Those are the two critical pieces of information that you need to take away from this lesson.